All right. Hello, everybody. KV Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with you. We just got done talking about how we've got the stream set up. We're all good to go. And guess what? They've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning. Hey, that's good news. The hail threat for the Smithville area, that has diminished. This thing, it actually pulsed up pretty quickly, and it looked like it was producing hail up to about ping pong ball size. Obviously, that threat has now diminished. But real quick, since we're here, we'll run through it one more time. Let me put this into play mode for you. And again, this is obviously the storm that we were watching. You could see it pulsed up, and that was kind of the idea today. I didn't really expect like a sustained severe weather threat, at least not until we get into tomorrow when our parameters go up a little bit. But it pulsed up, and now this thing appears to be raining itself out. If you live in the Austin area, this thing's about 40 miles away, but you're probably seeing the lightning off in the distance. We can actually see it here from the TV station. But again, we'll go in real quick and I'll show you what is happening with this storm. The fact that it has weakened. There is still some rain and some lightning down here, though. So here, let's get in a little bit closer. This developed on the south side of Smithville. So here's Smithville. Initially, this was moving north, and you could see on the loop where a couple scans ago it had those purple magenta colors to it. That really has weakened. The lightning count with this has really gone down. So just a sign that this thing is really falling apart. But let's pan back over. A new storm has kind of fired up here between Delhi and Red Rock. This one has got a little bit more lightning with it, so maybe this will be the next one to pulse up. Honestly, I don't think we're going to have another severe thunderstorm warning, but just understand there's still some heavy rain. There's still some lightning out there. Speaking of the lightning, real quick, I'll just give you an idea of what the lightning count looks like here. Earlier, this number, the 15-minute count of lightning strikes, was at like 200. Now it's down to 14. So obviously this stuff is kind of losing speed. But hey, we'll take a little bit more rainfall here, see how much rain has fallen. So this really has been like several rounds of storms now for some of these same areas. But out around the Cistern area, the drought a little less pronounced here in the coastal plains, but it's still a deficit down here in Fayette and Bastrop County. So look, as I said, we'll take some extra rain here. I'll just show you real quick. We'll punch up some of these numbers. Anywhere in green is going to be upwards of an inch. And hey, this has been good. 1 to 3 inches of rain that fell in these spots. So that's pretty fantastic here. Also had a heavier downpour that developed just down to the south. So that is the situation right now. Get back to the radar, then we'll run through the forecast one more time. And unless something changes, we'll get off of this stream. We had it all set up. I was like, all right, Smithville might be go time, but hey, this thing is weakened. Again, that's just fine with me, but I wanted to give you all a heads up either way. Show you we were ready for it. All right, so again, it's really just over the coastal plains in Austin. I really don't expect stormy weather through tonight in Austin. Tomorrow in the morning, rain chances start to go up in the metro, and likewise early in the morning, rain chances will start to go up in the hill country. But I think as far as like the immediate next 2 to 3 hours, it's just going to be this stuff down in the coastal plains, and that is gradually going to weaken. Okay, so let's see. Let me skip through some of this real quick, and we'll get back into, I'm going to turn off the tracker here, and we'll just run through the forecast one more time. This is the tower cam, and off in the distance, we were able to see some of that lightning several moments ago, but it looks like the lightning too has kind of started to calm down here. This is just the beginning, though, of what's going to be a pretty active stretch of weather for us. So we do have several days of storm chances ahead. Not that you will see rain every day, but every day is going to have a chance for rain, and odds are that where you live, you will see rain potentially heavy several times this week. And with the rain chances, it's not going to be nearly as hot this week. Highs will be high 80s, low 90s. We want the rain, but just want to give you a heads up. Flood potential and that low end severe weather risk. So again, here's a closer look at that storm. They've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning. They've replaced it with just the strong storm advisory, which is what we initially had at the beginning of our newscast. Okay, so on the bigger picture, we have this activity south of San Angelo. One severe storm here. That one's pretty intense, but it's really going due south. So I don't think this is going to make it into the hill country. This is going to be the area that we really start to watch. Actually, I don't have the tracker on. Let me punch this up for you real quick. This, I think, is going to be the area to watch how these storms develop over the next little while here. My tracker's not happy with me. There we go. If we get a complex of storms up here near Lubbock, that tries to work down our way. Obviously, this is hundreds of miles away from us. We got to see how this stuff holds together, but that would be the beginnings of the complex that could move into our area tonight. Pretty low, not tonight, late tonight into tomorrow morning, first across the hill country. Pretty low certainty on that. But our rain chances tomorrow, as you can see, are actually highest through the first part of the day. And it's a 40 to 50%. Not an 80 to 90%. So especially in Austin, it's not a slam dunk that there's a ton of rain around tomorrow. I think that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are eventually going to get into even higher rain chances. But tomorrow I have a 50% in the forecast, and for Austin, I think that's mainly going to be through the first part of the day. Here is the latest run of our high-res model, our high-res rapid refresh. It's keeping us mainly dry overnight. But then as we go into 7 a.m., here comes that potential complex into the hill country, and you guys know the deal. This is not going to be the exact way the radar looks. The timing's not going to be exactly right. The placement is not going to be exactly like this. But it's a chance that we have some fairly strong storms that go into the hill country, then weaken on approach to the I-35 corridor in the metro. So as far as which areas have a better storm chance tomorrow, it's west in the hill country, lower, but still not zero, but lower storm chance along and east of I-35. So that's through the first part of the day. Then the idea would be if we get this morning round, we clear out, the atmosphere would be pretty worked over. The afternoon would likely be pretty dry. Then we get back into some rain as we go into tomorrow night. So this would be 3 a.m. into Wednesday morning. That wave kind of lifts through. We'll try to recharge again. We'll see if some more hit or miss showers and storms can develop as we get into Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. And I think you get the idea. It is just waves of rain and storms, not raining constantly, but waves of rain and storms in our forecast. For Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that's going to be the core of our rain chances. So tomorrow, as I mentioned, it's 50%. Not everybody's going to see rain tomorrow. I think some will, but not everybody. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is 60 to 70% chance for rain. Then I do think we start to trend drier for this weekend. Not completely dry over the weekend, but drier. And that will continue as we go into early next week with the rain chances down to about 20%. Mainly, I think we're watching the heavy rain risk more so than the severe threat, but through the rest of tonight, through Tuesday, through Wednesday, each day, I mean, it literally is the same each day. We have area-wide a level 1 risk, so low in potential for strong winds and hail primarily, not super concerned about the tornado threat. Here's the flood potential, though, so this will start Tuesday, level 2 tomorrow in the hill country. As I mentioned, that's where the heavy rain potential is highest, lower as you go east. But then Wednesday, Thursday, area-wide is just a broad brush level 2 out of 4 risk for locally heavy rain and for flooding. 7-day rainfall totals. This is the Weather Prediction Center, their in-house model, which is pretty aggressive. In fact, I think it's too aggressive. It's got like a widespread 4 to 5 inches of rain. What I'm thinking is a widespread 1 to 3, and this is over the course of the next 7 days. This is not all going to come tomorrow. Over the course of the next 7 days, widespread 1 to 3, pockets of 3 to 6, and especially where we get those pockets of 3 to 6, that's where the flood threat would be a little bit higher. For tonight, this was factoring in the evening storms. It's about a 20 to 30% storm chance will drop down to 75. Tomorrow, I have a 50% chance of storms in the forecast for Austin. That's mainly the first half of the day. That 50% is a little bit higher as you go west into the hill country. High temperature for tomorrow of about 91 is in the forecast. And here's the 7-day. You can see by Wednesday, it's 89 for the high, a 60% chance for rain and storms. Thursday, I think that looks like potentially our best bet as of now. Again, this will be pretty fluid. 70% chance for rain and storms. High of 90. Friday is 60%, high of 88. Still 80s, low 90s as we go to Saturday and Sunday. Rain chances just a little bit lower for this weekend into early next week. But hey, it is June and we are not rattling off 100-degree days. So I think that is a positive for us. All right, so with that, I think I'm going to sign off of here. Again, our storm that we originally started the stream to cover has weakened. Again, all good, but down in Bastrop, Fayette County, just a heads up, there is still some rain. There's still some lightning. Just a look at it. Again, I think this is kind of in the process of winding down and will be primarily dry after that for the next several hours, ahead of increasing storm chances first across the hill country in the morning tomorrow. So right now the heaviest rain is between McMahon and Red Rock and out towards the Delhi area. All right, so I'll hop off of here. I guess we're not on KVU anymore. We're just streaming here. So y'all have a good rest of your night. Casey Sherman will be in for KVU News Daybreak starting at 4:30. She'll have you covered with the weather forecast then. Y'all have a good night, and I will talk to you later.